What's going on, guys? Welcome to our third annual end of year video. Today marks the final day of 2021, and well, first of all, before we get into our usual stuff, a little announcement. This morning I tested positive for COVID. I don't know how I got it, although I have a pretty strong idea, but I'm not going to say anything because the video might get taken down, or at least flagged, or whatever. It might not get recommended. So if you want to know about that, you can DM me, whatever. But yes, I'm ill. It's actually taken me 12 hours plus to actually find the energy to do this video. You know, I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. It is now 5:49, so I've been up like 13 hours and I've only just like gotten out of bed. But as you can tell, we have a lot to celebrate this year. I genuinely think 2021 was probably one of, if not the best year of my life, and a big factor of that is probably this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, of course, this was the clothing that I wore for the cover of the Young Charisma EP, which honestly was one of my more enjoyable endeavors that I've done on this. But either way, that was like halfway through the year. We got to talk about the rest of it first. So obviously, in the last two end of year videos, we have gone through the years month by month, and I do have all my videos up now on YouTube Studio. So we started off the year with pretty standard stuff. We were mostly doing live streams, and this is something I'm really proud of that I managed to do this year. I've played so many new games that I'd never played before this year. Games like Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Ratchet & Clank 2016. We completed The Last of Us in January, and I played the shit out of that game this year. Same with The Last of Us Part 2. I played that this year. What else? Uncharted. Yes, the first three Uncharted games. I got into Sly Cooper this year. I started playing Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus this year. Like, I've gotten into quite a lot of stuff. Started to play Rocket League a lot more, as you guys have seen on the channel. Of course, Grand Theft Auto, the trilogy, the definitive edition. So many new games that I'd never played before that I've played this year. And even just recently, I've gone back to play one of my favorite games ever, Batman Arkham Origins, for the first time since I was like a child, you know? So yeah, but basically we went into this year pretty exhausted, if I'm going to be honest. We're not really exhausted, but definitely exhausted for new ideas, and it was a good thing that I was, you know, starting a bunch of new Let's Plays, because if you guys remember 2020, in the last 3 months, we dropped 2 mixtapes. Like, I made, like, well, I mean, so August, September, October, November, December. In 5 months, I made 2 full-length mixtapes, with the latter actually just taking 2 weeks to make in December, which was Waiting for Eternity, which had its 1-year anniversary yesterday, which of course I did announce, and I did listen to the project again. It has aged, oh yes, it's aged pretty well. Certain parts of it haven't, of course, like the skits, the interlude, but yeah, I could probably still stand firm with that probably being my best project. Then here comes 2021, and I begin work on the Young Charisma EP, which I'd actually thought of ideas for the Young Charisma EP back when I was making Waiting for Eternity. It was while I was writing Soulmates. Like, the first half of Soulmates is a very like Young Charisma-ish vibe, or at least the vibe I wanted Young Charisma to be at the beginning anyway. And in January I started writing the hooks for Young Charisma EP. So hooks like on Untouchable, and what else? I think What You Want. I don't know. I can't really remember, but I know I was definitely like searching for beats as well. Oh yeah, 4 a.m., which I ended up scrapping off of Young Charisma. I still have the demo, which the demo of that song will be released sometime next month or February, probably February. I am working on Young Charisma 2 because the first Young Charisma was obviously so successful, and even side B did pretty well as well. Even though I didn't expect it to do well, but I did it anyway because a lot of people liked Young Charisma, so I obviously did Young Charisma side B. But yeah, the difference between the making of Young Charisma and pretty much any project I made in 2020 and 2019, if you include Binge Hours and Devil's Advocate, was that Young Charisma took absolutely no stress to make at all. Like, it was fun to make Young Charisma, like from start to finish, you know. And the funny thing about that is that the whole month before I fully started to go hard in working on Young Charisma's verses, I was ill as well then. That was the last time I was ill, so that would have been June. And coincidentally, and this might be a clue as to why I think I'm definitely ill, I had the vaccine right before I got ill, and I was really fucking ill for like the whole month. I made hardly any videos in June. It was crazy. But obviously we're here right now. I don't know how I'm talking like this, if I'm going to be honest, but I it's whatever. I've not had the energy to do anything all day, since the live stream, you know. All I had was a runny nose when we did Arkham City, and then that shit just, when we finished Arkham City, and then it's just like, it's escalated to a massive level. But yeah, I do want to thank everybody who was around for the Young Charisma EP this year. We got so much support on that. Oh, and we returned Fortnite. That was something I forgot to mention as well. We will be doing more Fortnite streams next year, hopefully. We'll see. Depends when I can get on with the Americans, you know. So like Ryan Plays Gaming, etc. They're American, different time zones, and I'm obviously a lot more busy than I used to be back in, say, 2019, you know. A lot more busy, and early 2020, but that was only because of the quarantine, and I got lucky with that, if I'm going to be honest. Oh yes, that reminds me, yes, January 2021 was a pretty horrible month for me. You guys wouldn't have noticed it because I did like 3 live streams. I did 3 series at the same time. I think I finished The Last of Us and then moved on to Rise of the Tomb Raider and Ratchet & Clank 2016 at the same time, but I was pretty fucking depressed. We went into a full-scale lockdown again in January, but the difference, and you might be able to guess now because I did mention it earlier, I got lucky in 2020. I didn't have any work to do at home, so we just played video games, and we made a load of videos on Need for Speed Heat. It was honestly one of the best times of my life, you know. It was so carefree. I didn't really have to worry about anything, if I'm gonna be honest. It was just awesome. This year, wow, complete utter opposite. Obviously, as I said in my last end of year video, I switched my college course from electrical to health and social care, and this year was my first experience with that course within quarantine, and we had to work on laptops over Microsoft Team calls and stuff. It was horrible. I actually had so many breakdowns during this time, but this is also when I started to listen to some different albums as well. I discovered Eminem's Relapse, which is a horrorcore project, and you can look down on me all you want, but if you like watching horror movies, you can't have a go at me for loving horror music. Anyway, I love Relapse. It's a great project, and I'm gonna be honest, as fucked up as that project is, it kind of got me through January. If I'm gonna be honest, it got me through it. I was also listening to Eminem's first album, Infinite, which obviously begun to influence Young Charisma. Case in point, the song Beautiful, which is a remix of Eminem's song Maxine. of course. I love that beat, so of course I used it for Beautiful, which is one of my most popular songs. Thank you so much for that, by the way. And then I dropped other songs as well, but again, we'll get into that in a second. Basically, January was not a good month for me, as much as I tried to fake it, you know? So let's look through YouTube Studio just to see what I did in February, because I don't remember February that much. I think we definitely finished Ratchet & Clank 2016 in February, but other than that, I don't know. Oh, February, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. We were trying to finish that, and we didn't end up doing that until like March. But yeah, I did almost nothing in February apart from Ratchet & Clank 2016, like finishing that. We played Trove with TJ that one time, which I'll definitely play again next year. I think we'll play Trove maybe once a year, depends, because Trove is a great game. We played Journey in February as well, which was, we played the full game in one stream. My last Need for Speed 2015 video was in February, I think, or we may have done one afterwards, not sure. Red Dead Online's, oh god, new source of employment update, that was a bit ugh. But yeah, we didn't really do much in February, that was it. So February, I don't really remember much about it, but I think that's when we, maybe February was when we were able to return to college. I'm really not sure. Trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to assume that February was like a recovery month for me, because January was so like stressful, and of course I was like finishing series and stuff like that. I did put a lot of stress on myself in terms of video games this year, unfortunately. If you're wondering what the flashing on the screen is, basically on Share Factory you have to put like gameplay behind this video thing, and obviously I put Rocket League gameplay. Well, not obviously, but I have put Rocket League gameplay behind it. Either way, I don't know. I've just lost my train of thought, which I think is one of the symptoms for COVID, like lack of concentration, memory and stuff like that. Right, yeah, I've got it. February was when, yeah, probably my time of recovery. But in March, we started bringing in more series again. We were finishing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. We played through Shadow of the Tomb Raider, etc. We moved forward. I mean, I was playing The Last of Us 1, a forkload behind the scenes. Until I got The Last of Us Part 2, and then we did a series on that, which I think was May, right? I think it might have been May. It might not have even been that. It might have been July. I don't know. It probably was July. Either way, we reached the point of the Young Charisma EP, and I didn't think that was going to do as well as it did. I knew like people were going to like it, of course, because it was basically that binge hours style with all the experience that I had gained from making the mixtapes, of course. So I knew Young Charisma was going to do well to a certain degree, but I didn't think it was going to do like as well as any of my mixtapes. But yeah, it did. Young Charisma did really well, and of course I already had plans to make Young Charisma Side B, but yeah, it kind of depended on the reception for the main project. Of course, Young Charisma did well, so I made Side B, and I wanted to tell a little of my own story part of that as well, with like the whole alien invasion and stuff, which is going to continue on Young Charisma 2, going into like, if I ever make Young Charisma 3 or anything like that, you know. I think that's something I want to continue. That's something that I and my cousin Ryan, or Rai enjoyed. The skit that me and TJ did on Young Charisma was fire. Probably my favorite skit ever, and probably the best skit that I'll ever release. That I'll ever release for quite some time. It was just such a great skit. It just kind of encapsulated our commentary style. You know how TJ just bullies me in most of the YouTube videos. It was just like that, and it was it was just perfect, basically. That skit was perfect. But yeah, we're now going to the summer, and of course I started on level 3 health and social care, which is still ongoing. I'm still doing it, of course, but right now we're in the Christmas holidays, and I very much struggled in the first week of that until I of course finally got medication for my anxiety. So that honestly helps a bunch. Not completely, it still like lingers, the feeling is still there, but it definitely takes away the edge, the sharp part of the sword. It just blunts it, that's that's the best way I could describe it, really. And I think in September was when we put out Young Charisma Definitive Edition as well, which basically was just putting both side A and side B together. But I do still have multiple videos to put out for the Definitive Edition. I've just got to find the time to make the skit with TJ that will also be the Young Charisma 2 intro. And also we will then release 4AM's demo version, which is going to be pretty fucking cool. I can't wait to put that out. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, if I remember rightly. October and November I made a bunch of friends, and by the end of November I had lost all those friends. Still a very confusing situation, but it didn't really hit me too hard. I did plan to make a project in December that was based on that situation, but I mean, after about a week I just didn't care anymore. And so oh yes, Angel of Darkness, I forgot about Angel of Darkness. My hand looks so weird on this camera. Look at that. I got really skinny arms, bro. Yeah, Angel of Darkness was going to be the epilogue mixtape, or well, the 4th mixtape, the sequel to Waiting for Eternity, etc. But obviously I didn't have the motivation for it. I didn't want to do it, and I still don't want to do it. Again, it would have been a very cool project. I had some really cool ideas for it, but I just didn't feel like doing it. So of course I'm working on Young Charisma 2, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm working on Binge Hours Part 2, which I don't like to mention a lot, but for those of y'all who have stuck around in the video this long, obviously I think you deserve to know that I am working on that. So for you OGs out there, it's going to be a nice little send-off before I actually move on to SoundCloud. And by the time of our next end of year video, hopefully I will have the equipment to be able to do that. I mean, I don't really expect to buy anything this year other than equipment for that, so basically a laptop, a mic, etc. I want to make actual music on SoundCloud, high quality music that you guys can download, if you like it, and support me properly, and I can actually make a career out of it, because I think even at this point I'm ready. But I'm putting out Young Charisma 2 because I feel like it. That's a project I want to do. And then Binge Hours Part 2 is the proper epilogue. That's the project I want to put out that will basically just be the send-off to everybody who's been around since, well, the diss tracks, really. Before we reboot, essentially, again. Even though Young Charisma was kind of a reboot, but you know what I mean, like a proper reboot. Like we'll start from like the first mixtape, etc. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We get out to December this month. Christmas was decent. I got a awesome new coat, which you guys haven't seen yet, but you will in sometime in January. Not that it matters, but I think it's pretty fucking cool. But yeah, in terms of everything else, that's really about it. This video isn't really going to be as long as last year's was, or maybe it will be, because we're now going to move on to what my plans are. Oh, actually, I need to mention something. I think my YouTube channel, I don't think the channel is dead, but I think YouTube's algorithm has gotten a lot worse this year, because in my first couple years, no, in my first 3 years on YouTube, so 2017, 18, 19, I gained about 200 subs every year, and by the end of well, I think I only gained 100 for 2019, so I was at like 500 at the end of 2019. I was at 630 at the end of last year. Right now I'm on 664. 665. I've only gained 35 subscribers this year. That is absolutely abysmal. And you know, it's not even my fault. Like, YouTube's algorithm is the problem. My content this year has been better than ever. I have completely, almost dropped the controller. I have completely like broadened everything I did, because everything I did before was like, it was WWE, it was Need for Speed, it was Batman. This year I've done those 3, sure, but I've also done Uncharted, Tomb Raider, Ratchet and Clank, The Last of Us, you know, and more. A lot more Red Dead Online content. Of course, I didn't do much Red Dead Online content in 2020. Watch Dogs Legion, we did a lot of content on that this year. Rocket League, I brought back the Grand Theft Auto games. Like, I think I also made a few videos on GTA 5 this year, you know, like and of course the EPs. So the fact that I've only gained like 30 odd subscribers this year really shows how it's kind of fucked this algorithm is now, you know. It's really not nice anymore. Sometimes I find myself like losing motivation to even do YouTube anymore, you know. Part of me really wants to move on to Twitch, because I'm obviously not going to ever make a career out of this. I'm literally just doing this as a coping mechanism for trauma, or just something to do in my spare time, just shit I want to do. It's a hobby, it's not a career, but I wish it could be a career. I really wish, but it's just not gonna happen. As hard as I've tried, and I haven't done shitty content. I've done really good content this year, you know. I've done so much as well, so much, and I've put so much effort into every video I've made this year and every live stream I've done, and it just surprises me that I've only gained 30 odd subs. It is a bit demoralizing, but we move. Oh, and Fall Guys. How can I not mention Fall Guys? We've done a fuckload of Fall Guys videos this year. Really glad I support that game, because wow, the guys who, you know, update Fall Guys, guys who make it, like, they've done a really good job. But yeah, that's it really. Hopefully next year I gain more subscribers. I'm thinking it's because there was just nothing new that I'd done before this year, if that makes any sense. So of course I've been playing the new GTA games, like Grand Theft Auto 3 for example. I played a lot of that this year, especially the new version that just came out, the Definitive Edition. We completed that recently. Yeah, like, there was no WWE games that came out this year. We've just been playing old WWE 2K17. There was no Need for Speed game that came out this year. Hot Pursuit Remastered, as I've said multiple times, was dead on arrival. Well, maybe not. It was like relevant for a week or so, and then afterwards it was just like nobody cared anymore. I just completed that because I felt wrong not completing it, if that makes any sense. So yeah, there was no Need for Speed game that came out. So hopefully, because next year we got a new WWE game coming out, which I will not get at launch. I will never buy those games at launch again. I'll never pre-order them again. But hopefully there's a new Need for Speed game coming out next year. I've already begun to develop plans for a video on that. I personally think we shouldn't get a new game, because, I mean, look at Battlefield 2077 or whatever it's called, you know? It's just, wow. They fucked up big time. Is it 2077? I don't know. Or is that Cyberpunk? I really do. I think it's Battlefield 2044, right? Cyberpunk 2077, that was that. And then, why? Like, why come up with these bizarre fucking titles for games? I need to have a look through, because we made a video on it not too long ago. Yes, Battlefield 2042, that was it. And I did make a video 3 weeks ago saying that it makes me seriously worried for the next Need for Speed game. And personally, as a little heads up before I actually make that video, I think there shouldn't be a new Need for Speed this year. I mean in 2022. I think because it's the 10-year anniversary of Most Wanted 2012, I think that would be the perfect game to really hold us over. That game has such a great multiplayer. I'm still playing Most Wanted 2012 on the PS Vita, so I think that should be remastered for these newer consoles, you know? But yeah, other than that, that's really all I gotta say. Hopefully 2022 is an even better year. I don't know though. I'm kind of afraid for 2022, but we'll have to see. Hopefully it's a good year. We'll see. And hopefully I can recover from COVID pretty soon. I'm gonna take a break. You guys won't see me on New Year's tomorrow. I know I wanted to do a video. I didn't do one last year for New Year's. I think I did. I don't know. Don't remember. But yeah, I'm probably not going to do a video until maybe halfway through January, if I'm going to be honest. So yeah, I just want to completely recover from this, and I don't want to overexert myself until we do that, which does suck, because I wanted to finish Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline and Saints Row the Third remastered as soon as possible, but we're in the same situation as we were with The Last of Us. I'm just doing multiple series at once, or multiple things at once, and now it's to the point that things are carrying over into the new year, even though I didn't want them to. But yeah, those will be finished in January, hopefully. I think, right, Watch Dogs Legion Bloodline I'll definitely finish in January, but I don't know about Saints Row the Third. We'll see. Depends how long that game is, you know. I don't know how long that is. I know how long Bloodline is. It's only a DLC. Can't possibly be that long. But yeah, for Saints Row, I just don't know. But yeah, hopefully I can recover from COVID pretty soon. I'll put this video out. Be sure to subscribe to my second channel. I've let that channel die, if I'm going to be honest. I've not been marketing that at all. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to that. I think I'll still be uploading that going into the new year. Yeah, I think I'll definitely still upload on Geordie Charisma Extra. So I'll leave that in the comments below and in the description if you guys want to subscribe. And I guess this video has ended up just as long as last year's. But either way, thank you guys so much for the support this year. I know it's been tough, especially with the YouTube algorithm and of course COVID. I should know, especially right now. Horrible. And I'm 99% sure I had COVID in June as well, but either way, we moved. I'll be back halfway through January, like a proper comeback. I think I'll still be uploading on the second channel. I think I'll use this time to actually work on the second channel. It really doesn't take much effort to do that anyway. So yeah, and I think we'll still upload. This gives me a chance to still upload like the Rocket League clips and stuff as well. We'll have to see. Either way, thank you guys for tuning into this end of year video. Hopefully 2022 is a better year, and hopefully you guys have a happy new year, of course. So yeah, without further ado, I'll see you guys pretty soon, hopefully. Peace. I still don't know how to do outros properly, I swear to God.